Okay, so this is the first video I'm going to try to post. I am going to try to make katahar. I've been having a craving for it, so I'm gonna make it. Now this is my way. I'm not saying it's the right way. This is the way I want to do it, so I'm going to do it because of course I'm eating, not you. So to my pot, I have coconut oil. I put maybe about a tablespoon in there, just about. Maybe I need more, maybe I don't know. To that, I'm gonna add my shallots because I don't like onions, but I'm still gonna add it. It does add a nice flavor to the food, I'm not gonna lie. Add my shallots. I'm gonna let that cook because like onions, it will cook a little bit faster. And right now my stove is between medium and low. So I'm gonna let that cook. All right, you're gonna see it's gonna start turning color. As you can see already, it's starting to turn a little bit translucent, which is essentially what you're looking for. All right, and to this, I'm going to now add my garlic and pepper because we're West Indian and that's what we do. Just to clarify, I am from Trinidad. I do have a lot of Guyanese friends. I do have a lot of Trinidadian friends, and my significant other, he is also Guyanese. So I'm gonna let this cook. My handy dandy measuring cup. I do have bigger ones. This is just the 1 cup measuring cup. I'm gonna need that with water here, and we're just gonna let this cook until it kind of, you know, makes the house smell all nice. And you guys may not hear me, but I am going to turn my fan on just to kind of, you know, keep the smell kind of contained and the oil kind of contained. And please excuse the mess. I did make lunch earlier today. Now to this, like I said, again, this is my way of doing it. I'm going to get probably a lot of backlash. But this is my way of doing it. I am a person, no matter what kind of curry I'm making, I can't see the curry looking like. So to this, I'm adding curry powder. I do use Lala's curry. That's the one in the big red container. That's what my mom used to use, so that's what I'm using. And I'm gonna put, for the record, this is the spoon I used to eat with when I was a baby. So I'm just gonna put like 4 of these because it's not a lot of katahar. But again, I like my food rather to taste that it has curry, and I also like to taste that it has some kind of taste to it. Now, yes, I know you're gonna see the onions caramelizing, getting black, getting burned, what have you. I like it that way. This is Amchar Masala, chief brand, because you know I'm Trini. And here is a bit of garam masala. Now, if this video does really well, honestly speaking, this is basically the base for all my curries you guys are gonna see. And I usually clean up as I go. So if you hear me stretching, that's basically what I'm doing. I'm just gonna add some water here really quickly. And to this, yes, it's burning, it's fine. It's actually smelling so far so good. Haha. Yeah. Sorry about that. That's why the fan went on. But you want to just add some water to your pot. I'm going to add a little bit more, only because I want to make sure that I give this a fair chance to kind of cook, right? The curry. Alright, so this is in here. It's gonna cook, and I usually rinse all my stuff before using it. I cover it and I let it cook for about 5 minutes, 7 minutes, give or take. While that's doing, I usually grab another cup of water. And I keep it right nearby. Just because I want to make sure I have it readily available. Okay, so essentially, I'm looking for the curry to start kind of becoming almost grainy. I know most people will cook their curry until it starts separating from the oil. I do too sometimes, depending on what I'm making. Sometimes it could just be I'm making like duck curry. And for all you Trinidadian people out there, please, again, I have my significant other who is Guyanese. So if you guys hear me saying duck curry, you know, if you guys hear me saying a lot of things that Guyanese people say, that's why we can blame him safely. Basically this is what I'm looking for as far as my curry is concerned, like the texture. And I'm gonna add some more water. Now, I know at this time a lot of people would say to put my katahar or châtaigne into the pot so that it can start cooking. But fun story, I started cooking when I was 19 because I started, I started living alone, and so living alone you have to learn how to cook. And one of the first things I tried making was aloo curry, because aloo is one of my favorite things to eat. And because I didn't know how to cook, I didn't let my curry cook long enough. So with that, when I was eating, the curry was still kind of grainy. I find when I do it this way, it cooks a little bit better and the curry isn't grainy. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this cook for maybe another 5 minutes, give or take. And by which time it'll be almost like a paste, almost sticking to the pot, where I'll just add a tiny bit more water just to unstick it. And once it gets to where I need it to get, then I can add the katahar or châtaigne. Alright, so my curry is almost where I need it to be. Not quite. I actually like it to get a little bit more dry. And it's almost where I need it to be. Just almost where I need it to be. And just for the record, in case anybody wants to know, I used the small Guyanese cherry pepper, I believe, and I'm gonna butcher this because I can't say it. I believe it's called weary pepper, but that's what I put in there. I cut 2 of them finely, and I put them in there. Now, because I added that, I'm not gonna add any more pepper to cook the katahar when I'm cooking it. And just so you guys see, this is what it looks like. I got this from Apna Bazaar on Liberty Avenue, and it's steamed. It's cleaned and steamed already, and it cooks really quickly. I know it's kind of taking the shortcut, but it's so much easier than having to sit here and spend a few hours just cleaning it. Is it satisfaction? Yes, so much. It's like carpet cleaning. You watch those carpet cleaning videos. It's like that. Okay, so this is almost where I need it to be. I'm gonna add the katahar to this in about another maybe minute or so. And you're gonna see me doing that a lot, wiping as I go. I usually clean as I go. And my pots, I put my back into it just to kind of get it really clean. Now, when my katahar is almost finished, I will add a little bit of ground cumin, sorry, to my pot. That enhances all the flavors and all the taste. So this is okay. I guess you can say it's the curry separating and you're seeing the oil surface to the top. I guess you guys can say that. But this is basically where I need my curry to be. I'm not gonna add any water right now, but I am gonna add the katahar. Now, what I did was I took this out of the freezer, defrosted it. You can see a little bit of water in there. I'm gonna try not to put the water in there, but things happen. And I wash this. I know it was steamed already, but I wash everything. My rice. Listen, if I could wash the flour before I knead the flour, I'd probably do that too. But basically, what I'm doing is, I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm just kind of trying to squeeze excess water out of there. Now, I know some of you are probably saying that's a lot of curry for just that little bit of katahar, but you guys don't understand, man. Like, when you want something, you either gotta buy it and spend how much money on it and it just wouldn't hit the spot, or you gotta make it yourself. And I would rather just make it myself. So with that, this is what I'm doing. I'll be right back. I just need to grab this bit out of here. Okay, and there we go. So paper towel to dry my hands, right? Not over the pot, obviously. All right. Yes, my pot holders are burnt. Yes, my curry is thick and pasty at the bottom, which is what I want. And I want it like this. It's not going to be this dry once I cook it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this go for a few minutes. Not even. I'm just gonna like kind of get all the goodies up as much as I can, and then because I need it to cook, I'm gonna add some water. Okay, adding the water. Now you also got to add coconut milk to this. For reference, this is the only brand coconut milk that I really do like. I feel it's better than some of the other brands out there. It's worked for me for years, and it's usually what I use when I have to put coconut milk in anything. So typical West Indian, I had a peanut butter jar. I finished the peanut butter and I washed it thoroughly, and this is my coconut milk jar. And I'm gonna just kind of add all of this. Yes, that just happened. Dang it. By the way, if you guys hear bells in the background, I have two little doggies, a male Shih Tzu, who you might hear me say Chewy sometimes, and a female Shih Tzu, whose name is Luna. So I am not going to season at this point. I'm just gonna let this cook a little bit. I'm gonna add some more water to it because I do want it, rather than a little bit thick, I do want it a little bit on the, you know, kind of like eating it with the oil roti. I'm not a fan of saying bus up shot because I feel like then I butcher it. I've been in America for a little bit, so I feel like I butcher it. So again, I'm not gonna season it at this time. I'm just gonna let it sit and cook in its own little happiness right now. But when I am ready to season it, this is fresh chopped. I chopped this morning, I swear. Fresh chopped bandanya or shadow beni, or culantro, and parsley. I use, I think, two different types of parsley. I use the frilly kind of parsley. I don't know what it's called. Somebody help me out, please. And I use the flat leaf parsley. So once I'm ready to season, I will go ahead and add that. Also, since I am done with the curry, I'm gonna turn the fan off. You might hear my music in the background. I figured, why not, right? I'm making katahar. Why not play some kanchan? So I'll be back when this is ready to be seasoned, so you guys can see what I'm adding to it. Since I'm gonna let this cook, I'm actually going to turn down the heat a little bit to low, let it kind of take its time and cook, and I'll be back. Okay, so I need to add some more water here, and at this point I'm going to season. Now usually I'll make this when I'm fasting. I'm Hindu, so you know we usually fast for certain times of the year, and then certain days of the week. Okay. Sorry, I'm short. I should have mentioned that in the beginning. So to reach things, you will hear me stretching. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my green seasoning of bandania, shadow benny, culantro, and parsley. Yes, I'm using my hand because I wash my hand. I wash my hands quite frequently when I'm cooking because sometimes I'm not only cooking for myself. Now, I'm gonna rinse this, so I'll be right back. Clean hands, and they're wet, you can tell. Okay, now to this I'm also going to add black pepper. I go a little heavy on the black pepper. Judge me all you want. I feel all the judgments. I also do a lot of stripping this when I'm in the kitchen. If music is playing and I'm home alone. I'm behaving today because, well, the significant other is here and resting. Yes, I'm blasting music, but oops, I spilled. Okay, so then I follow that with dry parsley flakes. Then I go in with onion powder. I think I've woken the beast, everybody. Okay. Then I go in with garlic powder. Now, the only thing that's in here is garlic powder. Same for the onion powder. Yeah, this bottle is a little bit different because it's different brands. One is, and I'm gonna say this wrong, Badia, and then the other one is Spice Class. And then I add salt. This is salt I kind of grew up using, not really this particular one, but this brand. So salt. Now I actually don't eat a lot of salt, so I usually go in really kind of light with the salt. And again, remember, I put pepper in the pot to cook with my aromatics. I don't cook like a normal Trinidadian or maybe a normal Guyanese person, but I cook to my liking because I have to eat it. So at this point, I am not yet gonna add my grind jeera, but I am gonna get another cup of water and set it on standby. I'm a person, I need to see my curry have color. If it doesn't have color, I am just weird about it. So if I go to anybody's house and they cook and they offer me food, if I look at the food and it doesn't have color, I'll eat something, you know, because they're offering me and it's polite. But I won't eat like the curry and stuff. So I'll be back when this is ready to add, if I need to add more water, or if I'm ready to take it down when it's at my consistency that I need it to be. All right, so this is what it's looking like at this point. Oh, it smells really good. Like you can smell the coconut milk, but you also let it cook. You know, I'm not sure, you know, and if anybody, you know, does it differently, definitely let me know. But I usually add my coconut milk whenever coconut milk needs to be added. I'll usually add it to the pot, let it cook with my food so that it's not like, how do you say, so you're not tasting it, you know. Fun story. I went to Trinidad to visit one year. My aunt had passed away actually, and I went to Trinidad, and a family member invited me to their I guess their girlfriend's house, and she made for the sake of it, curry duck, and she put coconut milk in it. Now I know that coconut milk acts as a tenderizer. P.S. This is my ground cumin, however you want to say it. Like I said, I usually add it when it's almost finished. It does give the food a very nice taste, and generally when I make curry, this is how I like it to look. Yes, most of the people will go in here now with a dal gutney or an immersion blender, and I'm gonna say that wrong, and my friend is gonna laugh at me. And just kind of like mash this up. But like I said, this was steamed already and frozen, so this is almost actually done. I just needed to dry down a little bit more. Probably got another 5, maybe 6 minutes, if that even. And then that's it. So I'll be back with the finished product. All right. I realized I never finished my story. So she made the curry duck, and she put coconut milk towards the end, and I'm not used to that, because when I make mine, I don't put coconut milk in there. I cook it low and slow until it's at the texture or the doneness that I want it. But yeah, I can't, you know, this is why I generally don't eat when I go to people's house, because, you know, number one, you don't know how clean they are. And I'm a person, I clean as I go. And I mean, look, I'm cooking, and my pot is still, you know, semi kind of clean, but you know, anyway, this got like another few minutes. I just needed to boil down some more and just kind of dry out, and that will be it for that. But I've already added all my seasoning. I don't taste when I'm eating. I never taste when I'm eating. I usually, if I need to add something, I usually have somebody who will taste it for me and tell me, hey, it needs this, it needs that, it needs the next. But in this case, I generally will not taste when I'm eating, simply because I've never been that way. I'm usually able to eyeball and know that, okay, something needs to be added or something is too much. In this case, based on what I'm smelling, everything smells fine. It smells like everything is good as far as seasoning is concerned. Again, I'm not much of a eating on the saltier side. I do watch, you know, the salt intake, but this is what, yeah, watch. It's, you know, I'm probably gonna, yeah, it's got a little too much water, so I just need it to dry down a little bit, and you kind of hear it drying down, you know, based on how the bubbles are sounding in the pot. But we're gonna cover it, we're gonna give it some more time. Be back with the end product. All right, so I realized that I said I don't taste when I'm eating. Sorry, I did have a beer earlier. I don't taste when I'm cooking, simply because I've never done that. But it's almost about finished, so I'm gonna just leave it uncovered and let it cook to where I need it to be, and I'll be back. All right, and so this is where, again, my curry may not look like everybody else's, but I like my curry to have a little bit of color to it, because then I feel like I'm eating food. But again, everybody's different. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please, you know, let me know your thoughts. Share, like, and comment. Let me know your thoughts. And if you have a different method in doing this, please don't feel bad to share. I'm happy to learn. I'm happy to experiment, sort of. But this is basically what I was looking for. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this cool down, and then I'm going to empty it in a refrigerated container. Once it's cold, simply because I don't want it to go bad, although I am cooking it a little bit later in the evening or in the day. I'm still gonna let it get cold before I can transfer it to a Pyrex bowl, and then I'll enjoy this perhaps maybe tomorrow, who knows, or maybe if I'm feeling adventurous, maybe a little bit later tonight. You guys would not see me eating on camera because I am a very weird person. I can't eat on camera. I don't like to be seen eating. So this is the end product. I will empty it, wash up, and that's it. So thanks for joining, guys.